And I think what Grady said and what Gabriel said as well is very similar. That what the problem statement that we picked, there was a lot of thought that went in, and I know some people think differently, but we intentionally picked something so that it gives you a picture of the complexity, but it still doesn't overwhelm you in terms of what is expected to solve, right? So that's kind of the driver, and you'll see that being echoed by some of the speakers who have spoken today, especially around the theme of architecture. And with that, time for the last speaker of the day, a person you may not know. It's a great privilege to have Paul with us, CEO and founder of IASA. We've been working for almost 3 years on this in this event. Nice having you here.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I actually don't even have to use the microphone, and you can still hear me in the back. I was the kid in junior high that got all the detentions for talking in class because they could hear me in the classroom over. Anyway, okay, does architecture matter? I freaking hope so. Otherwise, the last 16 years of my life were, well, just fun, because I get to hang out with you guys. So I guess maybe it doesn't matter because I get to hang out with you guys. The theme of the day is 20 seconds a slide. I have 30 slides in 7 minutes. Ready? Are we ready? Okay, I'm PaulPreiss. I started IASA 16 years ago, and I'm here to tell you, owners are not, owners are not born, they're burned, okay? And guess what? The theme of my presentation is you have to be an owner, and you will be liable someday. It's a whole brand new world. If you think architects won't matter, start looking at GDPR regulation and start looking at what legislators are talking about in terms of the future of digital professions. You guys are coming out of the closet, coming out of the back room, coming out of the basement, because IT, technology, and business are the same thing. There's no difference. Everything in life is digital. We are looking at the infrastructure of the world being digitized, being sensorized, being engaged in a digital ecosystem and a digital twin. We're putting sensors in roads, we're putting sensors in tennis shoes, we're putting AI at the edge. All of that stuff is done. Now guess what? How long does it take to put an add-on on your house? Andy, how long does it take to get the permit for the add-on or the change to your house?
Yes.
Long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the city inspector has to come out. Because they're regulated. Because you know, if you do it wrong, it does what Grady said, falls on your head and kills people. And that's a bad thing, we think. Because it depends on the people. There was that person that cut me off on the highway. They can. This is going to take forever. You know, on the drive over here, we hit about 200 potholes. So keep in mind, it's not like we can even fill potholes, much less put sensors in every speck of road overnight. This is a 100-year process and it'll never be done. If I were you, I would start an IoT management and delivery for small families kind of company, and then just put them all over the country because nobody's going to know how to do this but you. Everything is a device. We're so used in IT to think about my device, my phone, my table, my whatever. Everything's gonna be a device. Your chair's a device. Every wall will turn into your wall. If we trade phones, your phone will just turn itself into my phone. Okay? Great, cool, amazingly disruptive stuff that you can build lots of businesses on. So this is all the good news, right? And here we go. Okay, this is not easy. I'm gonna get closer. Okay. We have to get used to software as a trusted actor. If you give your software a task, go find me a vacation, you have to be able to trust that it will be able to pick a vacation for you and buy it for you without intervention. Software spending your money without intervention. Not, hey, is this okay? Can I spend it? But yeah, I'm your digital assistant. We have to build trust factors for digital actors. And that's a weird thing. Think about going to the family party where the Wi-Fi goes down. How many of you are the person that has to fix it? Okay, I want you to be thinking about regular people because you're out of the closet. You're out from behind the curtain. It's no longer Facebook's fault, it's yours. Business is digital. There is no such thing as analog business. The milking business is digital, right? Walking is digital. I know, because I can't get anywhere without, my maps telling me which street to turn. Every business is digital, and that means you are the business, okay? Stop thinking we're IT and waiting for someone to tell you how to do business. You're the business. Our lives are digital. We meet the people we love digitally. We interact with the people we care about digitally. We shop digitally. We fly digitally. We do everything we care about in the digital world. Play is digital. How many of you played Candy Crush Saga? Own up to it, it's the most popular game. Come on, I know it's embarrassing, but it's fun. I play SimCity for hours. It's crazy. Play is digital. Money is digital. Money's been digital, by the way. I was meeting with the head of banking for Beyond, I don't know how you say it. Anyway, and there was an ING exec, and he said, the funny thing is we keep talking about blockchain, but banking's been digital forever. How many of you touch cash unless you have to pay a cab driver in another country? I never touch cash. I don't have any cash on me. People, which gets us to the downside. We're going to get to that in a second. But Bitcoin, all of the fun digital currencies, Sweden's having massive lashback from their and protests because of the move to digital currencies, for reasons we'll talk about. Love is digital. It's no longer embarrassing to say we met on Tinder. Back in the day, it used to be utterly embarrassing to date online. It was gross, right? Now, I don't know anybody. My daughter would never meet a person in the real world until they had met and known each other online for a very long time. Which just is so weird, I can't even explain it. Okay, so everything is digital. What does that mean to society, though? So what this is about is you're going to professionalize and you're going to be important as architects because they are going to require you to be. Someone has to tell us whether or not we should lose all of the manufacturing jobs in the world. Should we replace all the taxi drivers in the world? Should we have 50%, 70% unemployment because technology put people out of work? Who are they going to blame? After they get done devaluing Facebook stock because of problems, and after they get done devaluing Uber stock because nobody has any money anymore to invest, who are they going to blame? Us. So, this is the downside of being successful. You also become liable. Now, the good news is every profession has faced this, and every profession has managed to deal with it successfully. If you think about it, you would be pretty mad at your doctor if they had the success rates they did 150 years ago, right? Because it's probably, you go in for a broken arm, and they would kill you. Because they would leech you to death, and then they would put some really bad, nasty stuff on your brake, and you would get an infection and you would die. Now, they don't kill you as often anymore, thank God, right? So we know how to do this, but we also have to think about what society has to deal with, right? That case study that I gave you is how prepared is your cousin that works construction for a digital era? Who are they going to look to? The positive side is, who do they look to for leadership, for retraining? What are the new jobs? Where do they come from? It is not the CFO that's going to answer that. It's you guys. Who's going to be flying high and who's going to be poor? The whole world is flipped. How many of the top 50 companies in the world are technology companies today? It used to be oil and gas and manufacturing and blue chip stocks, and now it's Google, Microsoft, Apple, Facebook, etc. And Facebook's a great example. Now let's talk about our societal role and why you being professional and why you matter in the world. Huge volume of people in the world live on, what is it, less than $250 a day? I don't know if that number is still accurate. At least this came from about a year or two ago. What do they do in a digital society? I don't have any cash. How do I give money to a homeless person? Or even make it a little more fun. How do I give money to a street musician? Oh wait, no, I don't have any cash. I'm gonna wave my phone at you. Do you take Bitcoin? Who gives her a phone? Who gives her a device? How does she participate? How does the family participate? What are we doing to society? And guess who can't answer it? Legislators, finance people, people who haven't been in technology their whole lives like we have. So who's going to answer these questions? Raise your hand. We are. Privacy. Your whole life will be online. Everything you've ever done. I'm so glad this wasn't me and you. In college, I would have never gotten a job if they had all my stuff. Right? Oh. Your whole life. We need to be prepared for the fact that you will never, ever, 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 ever have a secret. There will be video of it from 6 angles. Everything. IoT has video sensors. Your home will watch you. Your work building will watch you. Your car will watch you. Everything you've ever done. Every time you've picked your nose, every time you've farted on a plane. Okay, so how do we deal with that as society? Without I'm gonna say this, the peasants going and burning down the data centers. Right, the average people. Identity, what is your identity 10 years from now? How is that going to be managed? Who are we gonna think of ourselves? Are we gonna think of ourselves as Paul and his digital twin? Because his digital twin will have a smaller belly. Come on. Digital war. Digital war is real. Digital war is scary. We know this. We have a whole presidential election debate thing going on right now about digital war. And that's the light version. What happens when they start taking out hospitals? We like to talk about, how smart we are and how good we are as architects. Remember, the criminals are hiring architects too. Okay? And it's a good job. Terrible exit strategy. Digital religions. Religion itself has changed. Belief is changing. Who are the digital gods? Does Christianity change? Does Buddhism change? Does how we identify as a spiritual being change when our entire life and all data is available to us? I don't know. But leadership changes in the world. Who led the different ages of humanity? Recently, we're run by finance. Finance runs our lives today, meaning financial systems control policy and the things that control your lives. In the next world, in the next age, you will. We will elect presidents because they are digital elites. We will elect local mayors because they are digital elites. They will alleviate pain and bring prosperity in a digital age. I got this from Gabriel. This was just because I knew he'd be here. Architecture will become equivalent with decision rights in the digital world. It will also become equivalent with liability. Might get your insurance now. No, really, it's not time yet. Prediction, companies without digital skills and value will fail always. Always, always, always. There will be no analog companies ever again. And I don't mean the big ones. I'm talking about the local AM, PM. I'm talking about architects will work on the equivalence of architecting a Pizza Hut. Because you won't be able to run a Pizza Hut without an architect. Maybe not full time. That means I need a lot more of you, not less. It's not about staying relevant. Everybody knows you're going to be relevant. You are effectively the leaders of a digital age. Because you can think in terms of business, society, and technology. Ethics will become the fundamental, practical value of an architect, meaning you will be the one I get to point at that screwed it up, and if you screwed it up, you will never get to practice again. We will see the emergence of Accenture's and Microsoft's signing digital ethical policies that allow us to remove each other from the roles of architects because we lied once to a client. Keep in mind, everything's on video, right? So we know if you lied. So ethics are going to be the stock and trade of our profession. Profession will be a tool, meaning you will have the power to influence the way Costco does business as a professional in the same way that doctors and the AMA have the ability to impact the way Bethesda does medicine, and you will do so from outside of employment. The profession will control the definition of architecture, and that will control the excellence of companies. You will be hired based on your credentials and not based on your resume. Credentials meaning your ability to demonstrate certifications and leveling in the profession regardless of who you work for. Okay, that was it. Did I do it? Did I do it?
Yes.
All right.